Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This video is gonna be about what would I repurchase first? What would I buy first if I lost all my makeup? It is actually not something I want to think about. I would be very sad if I lost all my makeup. But for the purpose of this video, it's kind of like a thought experiment. I thought, what would I do? How would I approach this? What are the products that I would buy first? And I think this is such an interesting video when other people do it. So I thought, you know, let's just get into it. I have a bunch of makeup here in front of me and I tried to be kind of practical about it. I tried to also think, what is not too expensive? What are my favorites that are also like pretty easy for me to get? And what are things where I don't have to make like 10 different orders? Because honestly, if I would have to grab something from this indie brand, and then another indie brand with 20 euro shipping, I would be out of a lot of money trying to replace just a few things in my collection. So I'm actually probably gonna not mention some things that are absolute favorites, but those are just things that I would buy later at a time that it would make sense, because it doesn't always make sense to get something from the US or get something from wherever. So that's kind of how I approached this video. Alright, where to start? I think I'm gonna start with bronzers, and honestly, there's quite a lot of Kiko Milano in this video because I love Kiko Milano. It's very convenient for me to buy. It is so easy for me to get. It is not too expensive. And there's just a lot of the products that I really love. So there are a few Kiko Milano products in here. So it's also some favorites from that brand if you like to hear about that. So first up, I would definitely buy the Contour Obsession Contour and Highlight Face Palette in 02. They have 3 different colorways in this palette. This palette has 2 bronzers and a highlighter, which is very convenient if you don't have any makeup. There are 2 shades in here, one a bit more cool toned, one a bit more neutral, slightly warm leading maybe, and this highlighter is just a very nice like basic champagne that will go with any look. I love the formula in here. It's so easy to use, it's so easy to blend, it looks amazing on the skin, it's just very natural, it never looks weird or stripy. I'm actually wearing this today, so you can kind of like see what I mean, hopefully. I am not wearing the highlighter, but I am wearing the bronzers. Or specifically this bronzer, the cooler toned one. I really love the formula in here. It is just so easy to grab for. It's so easy to take with me. It's also very like slim packaging. It's not too big. It's a face palette, but it's not too much to the point where I'm like, what do I do with all of these shades? I don't really need all of this. So I'm actually really into the quality of this. It's one of my favorite powder bronzer products that I have in my collection. It's just very creamy, very skin-like. I would definitely go out and buy that one first. And then if I would have the time, if I would have the budget, if I would feel like buying more bronzers, then this is like a close runner-up. This is the Holiday Skin Luminous Bronzer by Catrice in the shade 010 Summer in the City. This is very nice for me in like the winter, like when I'm a little bit more fair, because it is a cool tone bronzer that is a bit more on the light side. It's very easy for me to put on. It doesn't really go wrong, doesn't really become too much. You can really easily build it up. It is very similar to the formula in the Kiko face palette, because it's also like kind of like this creamy skin-like luminous in a very natural way kind of bronzer. But I would probably first go for that face palette because it's just 2 shades and it would already give me like a lot of options. And then something that I would for sure buy when I would go out to buy the face palette, I would also get the Sculpting Touch Creamy Stick Contour by Kiko Milano in shade 200. And this is a contour cream stick that is the right shade for me to bronze with. Like, I have a cool to neutral undertone. I can easily bronze with this because it's a very neutral shade. It's not like extremely gray. It is a very similar in tone to the Catrice Holiday Skin bronzer actually. So if you like that tone, this one is very comparable. I love this formula. It's really easy to blend out. It takes just a few seconds. It is blendable, but it still sets down. It's like a kind of like a cream to powder formula. It looks really natural. It's not a sheeny product, but it just makes your skin look like skin. I really like traveling with this one as well. It is just such an easy, convenient, not too expensive product if you're just looking to replace a bunch of stuff at the same time in your collection. Then let's get some practical things out of the way. I would buy the Maybelline New York Express Brow Fast Sculpt Mascara Brow Mascara. This is what I always use nowadays. I think like it has a really nice small wand, which is very nice and precise. Like one side has longer bristles and one side has shorter bristles, and that makes it really easy for me to use. I have this certain technique I use with it, which makes it just my perfect brow mascara for now. I'm not saying that it couldn't be better ever, but this is great. It really keeps my eyebrows in place. I have the shade Soft Brown, which is the perfect color for me. I'm really into it. I love it, and it's just something that I cannot really live without. I always use some type of brow mascara. I can use this on its own without a brow pencil. That's also why I didn't really put that in my choices. I would probably buy it pretty soon, but I don't feel like I really need it because I have quite like shaped brows already, and I feel like they already look pretty good with the brow mascara, so I would go for that one first. And then the mascara that I always use nowadays is the Act Natural Defining Mascara by Colourpop in the shade Brown. I probably wouldn't go to Colourpop. I probably wouldn't purchase this again, partly because I've kind of been thinking it's more of an inconvenience than I thought at the start when I started using this mascara, because it is just very hard to remove. Like if I put this on Monday, I don't wear any makeup on Tuesday, and then I look in the mirror on Wednesday, it will still be there, and I will have scrubbed, I will have used waterproof makeup remover, I have cleansed my face a couple of times in that time, and it's still there. It's so hard to remove. Like I think I heard some reviews about Colourpop mascaras that they were hard to remove, but I was kind of like, I think it's fine. But I never used to have this problem when I actually used the Clinique High Impact Mascara in Black Brown. So I'm kind of thinking about going back, but I still have this mascara, so I kind of want to use this up. This is the last one I have of this because I had two. I had this as a backup, but now I'm using the backup because the other one had dried out pretty quickly, actually, more quickly than the Clinique one, which is also a reason. So I'm kind of thinking I want to move away from this one and buy the Clinique one, so that's probably what I would do. But I just kept it in here, like put it with this stuff because I needed to remember that. But yeah, making a whole Colourpop order for one mascara that I think is a bit annoying is a bit too much for me. Alright, let's move on to some blushes. I love blush, but I also know that I don't need 30 different shades of blush, even though I kind of want them. I don't really need them, so I chose 3 different blush options. I know it's a lot. I know like a little bit of a warm toned one, a little bit of a cool toned one would be enough, but yeah, I like to mix it up. So first up, I chose the Velvet Touch Creamy Stick Blush by Kiko in shade 01. This is a nude shade with a golden glow. I'm wearing this today. I filmed this look, by the way, so if you want to know how this looks, how it applies, just check out the video. I will link it down below if it is already up. Otherwise, it's coming later this week. But I really love this formula. It's really easy to use. It's just a really nice nude shade, and it just has the right amount of pink in it still for me to really like it, because sometimes lighter nude blushes can look a little bit off on me because there's just something about pink blush that really matches with my skin tone and just the whole look of my face. This is just enough color. So I really love the formula. It would also be really easy to grab with those other Kiko products, so I decided to put that one in as well. Then I also put in the Catrice Cheek Lover Oil-infused blush in shade 010 Blooming Hibiscus. So this is one of my favorite blushes in my collection. It would be really easy for me to go out and grab. It's very affordable, and it's just a really nice kind of corally shade with a golden glow, which will suit most kind of warm toned looks that I might do. So I think this is a staple for me. It's a good one to grab. It's an easy one to grab, and it's one that I will definitely miss if I don't have it anymore. Then this Sweet Affairs Cheek Duo, the Duo Cacao blush in Ruby Cacao, is actually still available, and I would really miss it if I wouldn't have it anymore. So I would go out and immediately order this online because it's not in store anymore, but I still saw it online. I checked it before the video, like, could I still buy this? And I could. So this is a very cool tone pink blush. We have kind of like a satin shade, which is a little bit more peachy, a little bit more soft, kind of works as a nude for me. And then we have this very glowy side that works as a glowy blush. It's very cool tone pink, and I feel like it really matches well with a lot of cool tone looks, and it's just a really nice shade for me. I just love these types of pinky cool tone blushes, and I would want to be really fast and grab it so that I don't have to miss it in my life. Okay, let's talk about highlighters. So once again, in that Kiko order that I would make, or when I would go to the Kiko store and buy some things to replenish my makeup collection, I would go for both the Ultimate Glow highlighters that I have right now. So I have the shade 02 in the Ultimate Glow highlighters. This is kind of like a peachy pink. I am wearing this today. It's just a very beautiful wet look formula, beige formula that really blends in the skin easily. There's no glitter or anything in it. You can build it up, you can make it more natural, you can make it more blinding, which is very nice if you also want to do some like softer or work appropriate looks. So I really like this formula because it's so versatile, and this is like the perfect shade for me. I also have shade 03, and this is more of a out there, like a little bit more of an interesting highlighter. This is very yellow. I almost wouldn't say it's a champagne. It is very, very yellow. I was like, what is the name of this one? But it doesn't say the actual name. But I love the shade. I love the formula. And I would really like to have kind of like a warmer and a kind of a cooler toned highlighter to kind of like mix it up. And to be honest, I know. It's a bit early to say something like this about a new product. But to be honest, I would also buy this one. So this is the Kiko Milano Beauty Essentials Glow Face and Body Highlighter. So I did my Beauty Essentials video about a week ago, and since then I've been using this so much. I'm not wearing it today, but all the other times I did my makeup, I used this. I have the shade 01. This is a lighter shade. It is called Light Me Up. So I've been using it so much and I love it so much. It's such a beautiful kind of like, it's a basic champagne shade, but it is so creamy. It just meshes in with all the other products on the skin so well. It looks so natural. It gives you this glow from within, but it's also kind of like buildable. You can make it more natural. You can make it more glowy and impactful. I just really love this formula. I guess the thing is, like, the true thing with these stick products by Kiko is that they are so easy to blend. It takes just like a few seconds. You don't have to think about it. It never looks weird with anything. It is just so easy to use. So I would go out and grab this before it is gone. For sure. Alright, another kind of practical product. I would buy one of these NYX Professional, why am I saying the full name? I would buy one of these NYX Line Loud lip pencils, and I would go for the shade Global Citizen. This is like a very contoury lip shade, like contour your lips, make your lips a little bit more plump. It will probably work with a lot of different lip colors because it is so neutral. I think I would get away with using this for quite a bit because this is like my most used lip liner, and this is what I would definitely miss. The other ones I would have some time to kind of think about, do I need it now or can I buy it later? But definitely I would want to have one lip liner that goes with a lot of things, and I really love this formula, and it's just easy to order online or get somewhere in store here. It's pretty easy. Okay, so I have 3 lip glosses here. First up, I put in these 2 Nmya lip glosses. I think these will fulfill my needs for a little bit when I don't have anything else. There are, of course, other lip glosses that I would really miss, that I would really want, but I don't know if they're so easily accessible. I would maybe have to get them from the US, so I would kind of think about it a little bit longer before buying those again. But I would for sure buy them again, but just not first. So the shades that I chose, because I wasn't like, okay, I'm not gonna buy all of the shades right away. That would be kind of too much with all of the shopping I have already been doing. So I got this shade She Said What, which is a really cool tone, kind of shimmery, icy gloss that is just so stunning, beautiful, very like subtle but still different. It just looks so good on the lips. It's just very juicy. I highly recommend this one. It's a great shade. And then I also got the shade Pinky Promise, and this is kind of like a pinky nude, but it's almost more of a peachy nude. It is a very subtle pink in this, but it's more of a creamy shade. shade. This is just a really easy one to throw on for a day-to-day look, for an office look, kind of like a lip balm with a little bit of color, which is something I really like to wear. So I would think that having a glowy one and having a creamy one, that would be really nice already to have. But I also put in another Beauty Essentials product because right now it would be still in store, and I know that I really like this and I've been wearing this quite a bit, so I would be sad if I kind of missed that chance. So I'm talking about the Kiko Milano Beauty Essentials 3D Effect Lip Gloss, and this is shade 04, and it's kind of like this see-through red, like soft red, almost like raspberry red gloss that is very nice and see-through, so it kind of meshes in with your lips. And then the shimmer in here is kind of like champagne but not too chunky, so it adds a lot to your lips, but it still looks very natural. And this is just a shade that I really love. The formula is also amazing, very nice, very thin, not too thick, not sticky. It's just a very cute gloss, and this is something that I wear a lot. I just love light red glosses. It is my favorite. Then I actually chose 2 lipsticks. Honestly, right now I wear glosses more than I wear lipsticks, so I chose 2. And first up I put in Twig, but I think I would go to MAC and kind of see if I would want Twig or if I would buy Mehr. I don't have Mehr in my collection now, but it's like the most safe choice of lipstick there is for me. It's like a true basic shade of lipstick for my coloring and preferences. It is like this nude peachy pink, like nude warm pink that really blends in with my like coloring. I just feel like it looks really good on me, and it's kind of like the perfect nude but not a nude. But I don't have it right now because I have a lot of shades that kind of look like it. I don't feel like I really need it. I am thinking about maybe repurchasing it, but I would kind of see. I would go for this one or Mehr because it's just a little bit lighter, just a little bit more peachy, and peachy tones I feel like maybe work slightly better on me than just slightly more like brown cool toned tones. But probably I would buy Mehr. Just, I have to be honest with you, if I would lose all my lipsticks, even if I don't have it right now, I would go for that one. And then another shade, just to have the option for another shade, I would go for the Essence Hydra Matte Lipstick in shade Honey-stly. Like honestly, but Honey-stly. And this is kind of like a cool tone nude, not too cool toned, not too brown. Just a very easy to wear, very basic shade in a formula that doesn't go anywhere, that doesn't like move around. It's just a nice matte, but it still feels hydrating, and this would go together really well with the lip liner that I put over here. So these would go together very well. That would be a really nice combo. And then I could also put one of these glosses on top and I would be good to go. And then the last thing we have to talk about is eyeshadow palettes, and I have to say that was a tough one. It was tough. I sometimes feel like with eyeshadow I'm kind of like 2 people in one, like 2 tastes of eyeshadow in one, because for like my job, for like day to day, I go into the Side by Side Nude by Nabla a lot. Like I go into this one so much. I usually use, I hope you can kind of see it, Bonjour a lot, Halftime, Beauty Mark. I go into these so much. I do a lot of all matte looks when I go to work or when I just go like to an event, like social event. So I was like, okay, I need this for sure because I use this a lot. It's a good staple, it's a good basic. It has all different shades of neutral eyeshadow. So I was like, okay, that one. But then, do I need blue eyeshadow? Do I need green eyeshadow? Do I need like very bright eyeshadows? In a way, I do want that in my life, and I do have a lot of those eyeshadow palettes in my life, but it's not like a first, like buy first situation. So I was like, okay, then next to this nude palette, what would I kind of feel like I would need? And I'm a bit like on the fence about this one because the Blushed Rose eyeshadow palette, I would be quite quick with buying this again, but it would kind of depend on how easily I can get these. It is a color story that I would really want in my life, that I really love to wear. Just these kind of cool tone pinks, but with a little bit of peach in there as well, and just a little bit of sparkle. This is an eyeshadow palette that is very much a staple for me, but it would kind of depend on the shipping and everything. But I still put it in because I was like, okay, something like this is needed. Something like this. If not this, then something else with peachy pinky tones. I would have to go on the hunt for something like that. And then I was like, you know, I would probably make an order buying these two palettes because I do need some sparkle. I do need a little bit of interest. It doesn't have to be like blue or green right away, but I do need a little bit of that in my collection. So I would probably make an order and buy these two again, because we have purples in here, which makes it a little bit colorful, but it's still very wearable. And we have a lot of sparkly shades. We have two chromes. We have this very bright purple shimmer that is just out of this world. And this palette I just use a lot. The New Neutrals palette, I go into this so much actually. I recently did another look and I really loved it. You can go pretty cool toned with this as well, and you have a lot of sparkly shimmers. And this, I feel, which one is it? I feel like Never Shy. It's like such an interesting kind of multi-chrome shade with like green but also peach and bronze. And I would probably be really quick with buying these again because it's just really my makeup style. It's just really what I would want in my life. It's just really something I reach for quite a bit. And I feel like it would still be pretty easy for me to get that because it's from Europe. It's a European indie brand and the shipping is not too high, and they often have like sale, so maybe I would have a little bit of a deal, who knows. But I feel like with these palettes I could go far. I could go pretty far. So this is actually gonna be everything for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe and let me know what would you pick. Like, I picked quite a bit for highlighters, I picked quite a bit for eyeshadow palettes. Do you agree with that, or would you do other things? Are there things you're missing? I would love to hear from you, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.